Let's look at Anthony Ryder from South Lyon, Michigan, recently selected as the Lions 2020 Fan of the Year. He has a passion about sports broadcasting.
With the 112th selection in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Amon-Ra St. Brown, wide receiver, USC. One pride, baby! Yeah!
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, the Detroit Lions over the last month and a half have gotten a lot of players back from injury. They were injury riddled very heavily early in the 2022 season, but really over the last month, they have returned a lot of star power and a lot of production from the injury reserves. Guys like Jameson Williams, DJ Chark, Jonah Jackson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift have all returned to play and have all returned to top tier health to help the Lions make this miraculous playoff push towards the end of the 2022 season. However, there is one guy who very recently, as early as just last week versus Minnesota, saw his first playing time since week 4 of the 2021 season, where unfortunately he tore his Achilles. That player is, of course, Romeo Okwara, the big money defensive end, the guy that came off 10 sacks the last time we saw him in a full season, has finally returned to the field, and his impact is being felt early and often. Romeo Okwara made his seasonal debut in week 14 versus the Minnesota Vikings, and although he did not play all of the snaps, he played around 35 to 40% of the defensive snaps for the team. Romeo Okwara was a threat, totaling 2 pressures on the game and nearly getting to quarterback Kirk Cousins in the close divisional victory. And in the last game this week versus the New York Jets, Romeo Okwara really started to show why he was paid the big money and why he was signed to a long-term contract as one of the first moves of Brad Holmes. Romeo Okwara played again about 45 to 50% of the snaps versus the New York Jets, which is what we expect from most of our defensive ends, right? It's a deep defensive end room with Hutchinson, Okwara, Houston, and Pascal. Kaminsky's in there. There's a lot of different players to rotate and get around. So a guy getting out 50% of the snaps is what we would expect from Romeo Okwara. And in those 50% of the defensive snaps, Romeo Okwara in his second game back versus a really solid New York Jets offensive line totaled 2 sacks. Got to the quarterback twice in the contest, helping lead the defense and the Detroit Lions to their 7th victory on the season. Romeo Okwara was not double teamed because Aiden Hutchinson was taking that role. He was one-on-one with the right tackle and won multiple reps, getting 3 pressures and 2 sacks on the game. Romeo Okwara was incredible. He played a really strong game, was great in run defense, was a really good, efficient pass rusher, and one of his sacks came on 2nd down on the game-winning drive, or what would have been the game-winning drive. And even though there was a 1st down pickup after that, even though there was a big play after that sack, without Romeo Okwara sacking quarterback Zach Wilson, that drive could have gone very differently. That quarterback and wide receiver duo of Zach Wilson to Garrett Wilson could have been a really big disaster for the Detroit Lions, and that sack, even though it didn't end up necessarily ending the game, was a huge factor as to why the Detroit Lions were able to make a stand on the final drive and end up winning that game versus the New York Jets. Romeo Okwara is officially back in Detroit. He is playing great football early, coming off his Achilles injury. As of right now, the contract for 3 years, $39 million is starting to look pretty good with 1 year left under that contract. So with all that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching this Lions video, and until next time, and as always, go Lions.